Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's AYCG Moviecast, episode 397. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gatt, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Heyo.
And Tony Kokonakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 397 of the Moviecast. Mike, unfortunately, won't be able to join us for a little while now. He is congratulations to Mike and his wife, Ashley. Wife Ashley.
Wife.
They got married over the weekend, and he'll be right now he's working, but he'll be going on a honeymoon shortly, so he'll be gone for the next few episodes. But he'll be back in time for 400, so which we're working on and coming up with ideas on. So hopefully we'll have some good stuff for you guys in store. We'll get some good stuff together. And news about that very, very soon. So we're looking at fundraising and stuff like that. So we'll look for that kind of stuff. But yeah, coming up soon. Let's start off with the box office and
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I had a feeling about this a while ago, Corey, which is why
I'm just trying to quote Star Wars.
I know. You're talking to the Star Wars fan. It is like telling though. Like I want to see this movie, but it's not like I want to see it over something else. So I saw Deadpool 2 today, anyways, and not Solo, which is, for me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and it kind of signifies the whole interest in doing a solo movie. These side story movies, double pun intended there. So it opened, and it did not open well, if you didn't know that. It 84.8 million over the 3 day. It's the lowest since the second one, Attack of the Clones, I think. I'm not sure of the stat exactly, but
I feel like, yeah.
Our bet was, by the way, Corey lost the bet. Our bet was Revenge of the Sith. 109 was the magic number.
Mm-hmm.
I could have given you a 4-day. Its 4-day total.
Yeah.
Its 4-day total is going to be 103. I think it came out to be. Not a good opening for Solo, and internationally, just bombed internationally.
You could really say it was so low.
It was so low, and yeah, it just crashed and burned.
That's the name of the title, by the way.
So load. Yeah, I think that's a good one. So guys, kind of just let's keep into the Star Wars. We'll go through the rest of the box office shortly, but just, is this Star Wars fatigue, or is this just basically a solo issue?
Oh, I don't think it's fatigue. I think it's just the fact that this is a character that people didn't want or
a spin-off.
care to see
a
spin-off for.
With a new
we
actor.
already know all the stuff, so it's like we didn't need it. A lot of people didn't ask for it. A lot of people didn't want to see it. There's a lot of that talk beforehand, and they still went for it. It's like,
I don't know if I would agree that it's fatigue yet. I mean, it could be. We'll see how
I don't like
does.
using that term myself. I don't
somebody
else.
But
Mike's not here to defend himself. He likes to use fatigue a lot, so I won't bring that up. But yeah, it is something that I don't know.
Right.
It's interesting.
What I personally think, so there's a bunch of factors, and I even tried to mention in the Discord. So, first of all, I think the release schedule didn't help it. Star Wars, in my opinion, it's not really a summer blockbuster type of movie. Usually, at least since they've come back, they've all been winter. Christmas is, Hanukkah, all those holiday times where people can go see that with their family. So you're going to get those groups of like 3, 4 plus who are like, Star Wars films are family friendly, and we'll go ahead and see that, people have extra money around those times. People have the extra days off. There's not that much competition in terms of like entertainment. We're coming off of Infinity War, which is on pace to approach 700
of all time.
Approach 700 million domestic, which Black Panther is about to do in probably another week or two, which will only be the third movie ever to do that. So Infinity Wars just sucked out over $600 million out of entertainment dollars. And again, I'll say that people have a certain amount of disposable income, especially for going to see movies in theaters. Then Deadpool 2 came out last week.
And that held well.
Yeah, it held pretty decently. And it, sucked up more. 100 between the 2 weekends, 170 something million dollars. Combined. So that's a lot of entertainment dollars, and again, it's just people. There's more out there right now vying for your entertainment dollars in the summer. I don't think it's like, and especially Solo in particular, wasn't like oh man, you got to go see this. Like you got to go see it. Like Infinity War has that. To a lesser degree, Deadpool 2 has that. nobody's saying that about Solo. If everybody's like, wow, this movie is so great, it's going to do amazing.
Has anybody...
I really think that they should have done it in the Christmas time. I think it would have been okay.
Have either of you guys heard any word of mouth feedback on this movie from any of your friends? Like anybody out there around?
I heard it wasn't as bad as
coworkers or anything.
Just a couple, but the best was it's not as bad as I heard it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of what I've heard is just
ho-hum kind of.
Yeah,
it's people thought it was going to be terrible, and then it wasn't terrible.
Well, I don't think it's the problem of how good the movie is. Like you guys said in the beginning, it's more about the character they chose to base the movie on.
Right.
And I think actually, if you're not a Star Wars fan, this movie is probably a lot more entertaining.
That could be. Yeah, that could be.
But and then that's another factor that I would say before we get into the fatigue thing, which I mean it's on the table, but I think it's still too early to say that. If this was a new Star Wars movie,
there's so many other
based on
factors. Like the
right,
fatigue
there's
thing,
a lot of factors.
I don't think is that at all.
But it's
no way. Episode 9 is gonna just destroy things.
I think
it's not coming up to Infinity War numbers, I don't think, but it's still gonna.
Does it make them question their side story movies?
Yes, absolutely.
They should. If it doesn't, they should. It should.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is what I didn't care for. Like, okay, great. I love that Disney is giving the attention to the Star Wars franchise that deserves. Because prior to Disney buying out them, their franchise is mostly dead outside of cartoons and mostly bad video games and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, well, that franchise is just in the gutter or whatever. So they resurrected it, and they're like, let's do Rogue One. It's like, okay, I can, okay, whatever, that's fine. We want to do that. And it's like Solo. I'm like, is anybody really clamoring for a Solo origin movie?
No.
I'm not. And it just, you're going back in time, especially because, spoiler alert, for, episode 7, he's dead. So it's like, it kind of feels weird to go back. It's like, hey, you remember how much you got on Solo? It's like,
if you're going to do a Solo movie, it should have been
before 7.
Well, it should have been after Jedi.
Yeah, it could have been a Harrison Ford starred movie where he was doing what
right.
Was
the timing was just off.
Yeah, between 6 and 6 and 7. That's when we don't know. We don't know anything about that period of time. We know what we're getting here.
Right. I would say if this movie was on any of the new trilogy characters, Rey's origins or Poe, how Poe came to be, so highly regarded as a top pilot in the Rebel, or whatever they call the
Alliance.
Is it the
Rebel Alliance? Yeah, Rebel Alliance.
If it was a Poe Dameron, movie, I think people would have been like, oh, interesting. I like that character, but we kind of jump into where he is. I'd like to see, how that came out, or even just brand new characters.
There's a lot of time where we don't know what happened.
Right.
And the problem with this movie is it's telling things that we've already seen and heard about. And plus, Han Solo is so ingrained as Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is Han Solo, and Han Solo is Harrison Ford, and it's so hard to separate those two things. So then you're getting somebody to play Harrison Ford playing Han Solo.
Such an iconic character.
So it's going to make it even more difficult on that.
Not my Han Solo.
Yeah, no, I mean it's going to be one of those things where no matter what, they're already starting from the back.
Yeah,
right. Right.
It kind of makes me wonder about the announcement they made with Indy 5 being Harrison Ford's last movie, but them planning more Indiana Jones movies. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, I mean, we had young Indiana Jones, and that was fine.
No, this is not replacing him himself. It's more of changing a character and making somebody else that character essentially. So you know what I mean?
Silly.
Yeah, that's what I've come to understand it. More of a sequel to the
whatever's coming out. Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be, right?
Yeah, but
he was supposed to take over that mantle.
Oh, he went crazy. So.
Yeah, he did. He went batshit crazy. So, so I don't know. I think, like you said, this is kind of a single anomaly in the Star Wars sagas.
Yeah,
but
I don't think we're gonna get a Yoda. If anything, we might get the Obi-Wan.
Well, they announced they're talking about
the Lando.
What was it? The Boba Fett movie is actually in the production now.
I think that's dead now.
You think it's dead? Okay, that was on the news here. I think, yeah.
If they were smart, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they had the director of Logan to helm it and write it. So
again, it's just okay. You're telling me about an original trilogy character. I want the new stuff.
Yeah, you want new. Yeah,
I want the new stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think that.
Well, I mean, at least with Boba, you have areas in his life that aren't really known. As far as Han Solo goes, you already know the major stuff. So.
Yeah. okay, as much as you,
But is it worth it? Like,
Tony, though, as much as you also
doing a Boba Fett origin movie.
Well, I think not necessarily an origin movie, but like a Boba Fett movie where it's like about bounty hunters and you're doing the bounty hunter take on it. It's like his group of bounty hunters. I think that could work a lot better than the Han Solo film.
I mean, it could, but like again, it's just you have to set it during the original trilogy, and is anybody interested in that?
They could do just before. I see now. I'm wondering like.
He's like a teenager becoming the Boba Fett we know.
This is where I'm actually bringing up this is an idea that I've always had with Boba Fett and what they can do with a movie is because I was just going to mention, Tony, that I mean I haven't seen Solo, but as far as I know there are no Jedi in Solo, and no Force users essentially. So is that maybe why it also went down in value? You know, maybe is that also why the box office wasn't great. So in Boba Fett you can have him hunting down the remaining Jedi for Darth Vader, essentially, thus building his name of that bounty hunter.
Again, I mean, sure, that's a possibility. I'm not saying I personally wouldn't want to see a movie like that, but okay. I mean, you got to think about all right. So when I think about who Star Wars fans are right now, you have two camps. You have the old school camp, like the original trilogy, like people like us and older, and you have the newer fans who are either grew up with the prequels or they're growing up with Star Wars right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can't see, if you do anything set during the original trilogy or even before it, I can't see many of them caring about that. Because, again, it's just like a kid growing up right now or that grew up with the prequels like, oh, yeah, you know what? I want to see a Boba Fett movie. Like, I want to see how he came to be Boba Fett. Because, like, okay, sure, it's a great movie, but what kind of impact is that really having on the
new
expanded
fans,
universe?
Yeah, the new fans aren't going to even know him.
And I'll call it to the Marvel universe. I mean, Marvel... Kevin Feige made it every time they release a movie. It's an event. Not all of them are grandiose or anything like that, but like they're an event. Because like, damn, we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy. We're doing Ant-Man. We're doing Doctor Strange. Like you have all these things. Like, okay, that's cool. That's something new. That's something different. Maybe that one's not for me, but this other one is. And it's just like, why can't they apply that same thing to Star Wars? Where it's like, okay, you have your mainline numbered ones that are primarily about the Jedi, Empire versus Rebellion, but you have like the bounty hunters. You have all these other people in the galaxy that you could. Tell smugglers. You could tell all these stories about, and you're not doing anything with them at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, there's a whole bunch of this universe they could just go completely new on here. That's what I've mentioned before. Just give me completely new characters.
Like, they have a perfect like a Captain Phasma movie where it shows her actually being a badass. Yeah. I would love to see that because they hyped her up. Both of the numbered movies she's been shit in. So I'm like. Well, womp womp, that's even worse than Boba Fett. Like, at least Boba Fett captured Han Solo. What did Phasma do? Nothing. Yeah. They release a Captain Phasma movie, and it's like, damn, she is hardcore. I'd be like, wow, I have a newfound respect for her. And then when she, possibly opens up in episode 9, I'd be like, yeah, you go, Phasma. You go, girl. You get them. And it's like, okay, like, again, I don't know, just, you need to build up and not go back in time. Just like Kylo Ren says, kill the past, bury it if you have, or whatever.
Yeah, that's close. Paraphrasing, but yes, close. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
They're trying to live into the original stuff too much, my opinion.
That might be.
Is that so? Are we getting more of this Han Solo?
No.
Or is it over?
I think that's over with. I think he's done.
This is losing Disney money because of all the
reshoots. This costs more than Episode 8.
It's like $300 million. This movie.
Yeah. And it's a side story that had
because I think 80% of it was redone. Yeah. So
and
they made two movies in one basically.
Right. And the one last thing I will say about it is people are like, oh, he's killing Star Wars, blah blah blah. And I'm sorry, I'm really picking fun of people on the internet and stuff like that right now. But if anything, I think this shows the current Star Wars group in Disney and what's her name, Kathleen Kennedy. Yep. That they're willing to invest the money into making a product that is good because they easily could have been like, oh, you know what? Sure, just as long as you're under budget, release whatever crap you have. They course corrected and they spent a shit ton of money to make a movie that again I haven't personally seen it yet, but I hear it's not bad. As opposed to what we heard, a year and a half.
I think it's just they played it safe with this movie,
right? So, there you go. They easily could have just been like, yeah, you know what? It's all about the numbers. Let's
they could have
release it.
So, all right.
I mean, and that said, like I do want to see this film. I want to see what they do
I'll
with it.
see it. I just didn't, like I said, I chose other things over it, so it's like.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Again,
I mean,
just back to my point. Too much competition.
Infinity War, and I mean, like as soon as we heard about when these movies were all coming out, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is not good for one of these, and I think we all pretty much assume Solo's going to be the short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, what do we have here? We have the rest of the box office. Deadpool 2, as we said, held pretty well, $43.5 million. We have Avengers.
What kind of drop is that, though?
Big drop. 65. I'm trying to think what it did last week.
Big drop.
It is.
Holding pretty well.
Well, considering up against Solo, that's what the idea was. It didn't. Oops. Oh Jesus! What did I just do? I think I just accidentally turned the box office. Read it off accidentally. Oh man, I can't even find it on here. Crap. Anyways, so and so we have Infinity War also, which our friend went and saw and said his theater was jam packed when he went and saw it. So
that was 16 and a half million.
So yeah, it's
I think that was only down 44 or 45%. 44%. Like so that's holding amazing. So
yeah, it is. That is holding
$1.9 billion worldwide.
Oh yeah.
Whew. It's gonna make its two.
Best downward trending I've ever seen.
It's gonna make its two.
So I gotta get these in while Mike's not around.
Book Club and Life of the Party are top 5. Let's see, it's going up now. We have a little bit of a lull in the box office, I think, until
Jurassic Park, but that's in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Jurassic Park. There's something else though. Isn't Incredibles this month too?
Oh, you're right. Incredibles in 2 weeks. Jurassic
and that is
World's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and Incredibles 2 is tracking for over 140 right now.
Yeah.
Which would be make it the highest opening for an animated movie.
Yeah, of all time.
Yeah, so that would be interesting to see what that comes out to be. But yeah,
superheroes.
Yeah, superheroes. The downward trending fad.
Yeah, you're gonna have. I'm just looking at it right now. So Friday, June 1st.
Nothing.
Action Point upgrade. I haven't even heard of these. Best Friends, Ultimates End, whatever. Friday, June 8th, you have Ocean's 8, Hereditary, Hotel Artemis. Which seems interesting.
There's no hype for
Hotel
Ocean's
Artemis 8. Or June or Ocean's 8. Which one are you talking about?
Both of them. I love Ocean's 11, so I'll see Ocean's 8 with MoviePass anyway. Mm-hmm. Hotel Artemis got that John Wick vibe.
Yeah, it seems it's like a mix between like Wick and the Raid or something.
Yep, exactly. So June 15th is Incredibles 2.
There you go. Yeah, and that's going to be the big one. So yeah, we got a little time here of just these movies trying to get some extra money. So maybe that helps Solo next week for a hold. But we'll see. I doubt it. Yes, I doubt it.
Does it stay at number 1 or does it something?
Nope. I don't think so.
No.
You think Deadpool's back at the top?
I think it is. Yes.
Deadpool. If it had
no, because that'll be another drop. It'll be 22. I think Solo has to be at number 1 because it'll go down to like 38, 40.
I think it's gonna.
You think it'll go down to 20? That's a.
The word of mouth is not good for this movie.
All right.
We'll see. I don't know.
I still think Solo will take number 1 because like what is coming out? So.
What if it dropped below Deadpool 2 and Infinity War?
Yeah.
If that happens, then you can just like put a fork in it.
All right. What else we have for movie news here? We have. I already mentioned Incredibles. I mentioned. Wow, we've been going through this as we've been talking. Bond 25. The distribution rights are over and done. So they're actually getting. Oh shoot! I have a bloody nose on air. This is great. Anyways. Yeah, so they finally
25.
settled it. Yeah.
Who's putting it out then?
Wow.
Not Sony anymore?
Yeah, hang on here. Let me get my camera off so nobody has to see my terrible bloody nose right now. Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, so Universal Pictures has won its rights to actually have I think it was over like MGM and not MGM, Sony. I think was trying to get them. So Universal has the rights now.
And Sony put the last few out, so.
Yeah, so it's going to Universal. Production's going to begin immediately, and it's
Universal, huh?
Yeah, and it's going to release on November 8th of 2019. Which means
weird.
They already had stuff already ready for it, and they're just waiting for that final judgment call. So yeah, interesting, I guess. But I'm a Bond fan, so like, I'm not a Daniel Craig as much anymore. I think he's kind of played his role out, and I would like to have seen something new. But I'll be happy to see another Bond movie though, because I am a Bond fan, and I always hope it's going to be really good. So, and that's pretty much it for movie news. So let's get into what we've been up to, guys.
Sure.
There we go. All right, so I can kick us off. I've been I finally went, like I said, I mentioned I went and watched Deadpool 2 today. Finally got to the movies and saw it, and it was good. I mean, it was good. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think.
I think that's where it was.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
I thought you were lower than that, Tony.
You know what? I might have been 6.5 to 7.
Yeah, I think I was like 7, 5, 8. And
I think the believe it or not, I felt like it almost dragged a little bit in the beginning. I feel a little
first
crazy.
half is
very slow beginning, and that montage does not help it because it's not. The montage wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. And I felt like they were trying to do too many jokes right off the bat, like really just hitting the ground running with like that. And I thought that was. I think that the opening they had after that opening was better to start with. You know what I mean? Like it kind of just seems like it once his flashback. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to give any spoilers. Sorry, I just feel like the opening was better the second opening. So, but the eye count is the second opening to keep it vague. But so yeah, I thought it was a good movie, but as the fourth wall gets broken many times in this movie, I think the writing for like the story could have been better overall. I think the story wasn't that very strong. I think it was more of a, hey, we can do a sequel to this movie. Let's do it. That's what it felt like. But I
felt like they almost needed to shoehorn like Cable because they promised Cable was coming. It's like, well, we need an excuse for Cable to be here. So
I liked a lot of the characters. I mean, there's certain characters that I really liked, and I was very happy to see in this movie that came in here I wasn't expecting, and I was very happy with that. Actually, I was very happy. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, so we're going to do a spoiler cast next week on this once my crazy schedule gets opened because I'm leaving very shortly, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, so I have to pack still too. But anyways, we'll do a spoiler cast next week on this, and maybe Mike. Oh, he won't. He'll be on his honeymoon, so nope, cannot join us. But so I watched that, and let's see, I've caught up. I finished up Shield. I finished up. This was last week. I wasn't on last week, so finished up Shield and. Did I already have that fun? Maybe I already had it done last podcast, but no, I didn't. So, I like the finale quite a bit, actually. I thought it was a very cool finale and kind of a weird knowing that there's another season coming up. I guess is the feeling I have. Like, it's kind of weird knowing that because it seems like this was a series
I don't know if
finale.
you're on the podcast when I talked about it, but I was just like, I would not have been happy if this was the finale of the series.
It seemed like they were... well, that... You know why, Corey, though? Because you never are happy with a series finale. Nobody ever is. So it's like, that's why, to me, it felt like a series finale.
I thought Airbender was...
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's true. That maybe... Can we come up with another
one? What about
one?
Legend of Korra?
Yeah, can we come up with another one, though? Seriously.
Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Thought that was really good, too.
What about original Full Metal Alchemist?
Nope.
See? When you get to rehash
What about Neon Genesis Evangelion?
What about Ava?
Yeah, no.
They haven't gotten it right in 6.
Yeah, like 3 movies. I still haven't seen the last one. So.
Lost, the Battlestar Galactica.
I forget where I was recently, but we were literally talking about Lost again, where it's like, don't ever watch Lost. Again, it's just like, I'm like, yeah, so many of my friends and other groups of random people have basically never let me. I'm not allowed to watch it.
Yeah, it's like pointless at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, The Expanse got picked up by Amazon, which I did see that. As a fan. I watched the first season of that, and it was pretty interesting. But then I kind of fell off the wagon on it.
Yeah, I gotta get my goal on this trip. I have a little bit of a road trip coming up, so I can I'm gonna try to load up a couple episodes of Lost in Space to kind of get a couple in on that, and then I'm bringing my Switch, so I'll be playing my Switch too. So I'm gonna hide my Switch because I'm not supposed to bring my Switch. So, but I'll be bringing it. So, So that's pretty much the big thing I've been up to. Like I said, I watched Gotham. I finished Gotham up. Actually, did you guys hear what they're doing with Gotham for next season?
He's actually becoming Batman, right?
Yeah, they're gonna do 0 Year. I guess was a comic thread. 0 Year, and it's mixed with something else. It was a Riddler arc that was like really everybody loved quite a bit. So yeah, they're just going with it.
I'm sorry, just because you mentioned Gotham. Going back to Deadpool 2, because I don't. Again, you were on last week's podcast. But I agree with you that the story is kind of like, you're just trying to find an excuse for Cable to be here and to get them motivated to meet up and stuff like that. So a major character from Deadpool was not allowed to be on set as much because they were contractually obligated to be on Gotham.
Oh,
the show.
Oh, yeah.
So they weren't.
So that was another reason that the writing was a little shoddy, I think, as well.
It's like, we can't use this character, so we gotta.
We only have a day with this character, so we gotta do everything in like, I don't know if that's true, a day, but like the limited time, so they had to. And that felt, that definitely.
So thank Gotham, because that show is good, right?
Yeah.
Is Poison Ivy still like adult now?
She's on her third variation.
Oh, that's good. Is she even hotter?
No. But she's more plant oriented now. Every new variation makes her more plant oriented in terms of what people do. She's more of the actual Poison Ivy character that you would know from the comics. But like, I actually like the finale quite a bit. I don't know if I want to spoil it for everybody on here, but spoil the show. But there is a Joker finally on this show.
It's not. It's not Joker. It's a Joker.
It's a Joker, I guess. They can't use his green hair or something like that. Did you guys read? I read that online.
Yeah. This is
what they do. This is what they do. Because I remember when I was watching Justice League and it turned to Justice League Unlimited, they weren't allowed to use a lot of the Batman characters, including the Joker, because they were doing the Nolan trilogy, and they're like, people will be confused.
DC's so afraid of that shit. Yeah, I don't understand.
I love how they give themselves. Like, I hate to bring it back to Marvel, but Marvel's like, all right, guys, we don't have any of our A-listers. What do we got to work with? And it's like, for that quote in Iron Man where it's like, Stark built this out of a box of scraps in a cave. And that's what they did. Like, they had scraps, and they built this. And, here it is, Warner Brothers DC. They're like, we have all our characters to use, but you know what? We're not going to let you use the Joker anymore in Justice League because we're doing the movie, and we don't want people to get confused. By the way, you can't use these other Batman characters. So good luck. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Meanwhile, Arrowverse is getting all these B-side characters.
They're getting Batwoman now and stuff.
I was gonna say, and Batwoman's coming in because.
Yeah. I don't understand like how they're even. Again, I'm done with that show.
Yeah,
I forget how long it's been since I've done with that show, but like, I don't understand why anymore. Like, what are you gaining from putting Batwoman in here? Because there were still so many the Batman like rogues and related characters anyway. So it's like
storylines, even like
the plot with
different people, just like everything. It's like storylines are just all Batman's.
So it's like, what are you getting from putting Batwoman in this? Like, what is there to gain? I don't understand. If anything, it's gonna be like, well, what the fuck was Batman doing for all these years that he didn't do anything? Like, he's like, you know what? Oliver or Queen City or whatever it is, like, go fuck yourself.
Star City. Yeah.
Go fuck.
All right, Tony, what have you been watching? Anything?
Nothing major.
All the shows are on.
There's this Netflix original anime done with Sanrio called Agretsuko. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's becoming kind of popular, like on the cosplay circuit and like the kind of community. So what it is, it's a cartoon, obviously, anime, where it's like these cutesy animal people characters.
I keep seeing it advertised on there. It keeps advertising.
Think of like Hello Kitty and whatnot, but the main character is, I think, a red raccoon or a fox or something like that, and she's just like some office worker lady, and she's like really polite and overly nice, and she kind of lets people like take advantage of her kindness and all that stuff, and the way she relieves her tension and stress is she karaoke's hardcore death metal. So like something will happen and then like it'll just pan to her in the bathroom and she'll be like doing this like like kind of like the lyrics, because she like brings a microphone with her, and that's how she vents. Like her boss will be like, I need you to stay late because I didn't finish my work and you're gonna do it for me, and she's like, fucking boss, like why don't you like do your own shit, and blah, blah. And she's like has this like angry, scary face, and just like you're like, oh, like what the hell? And she's like, all right, in 10 seconds I go back to being a normal, humble citizen. And she's like all like she's got the upside down U's for eyes and like all happy and stuff. You're just like, what the hell? It's about like how she deals with stuff. It's just I don't know. It's like 15 minutes episodes, and it's really 10 episodes. So I was like, I got like 3 episodes in before bed. I was like, all right, this is pretty cute, pretty funny, just like whatever. And there's been a lot of like interesting fan art, like I said, cosplay and stuff. I consider that kind of like its own art form. But I don't know if it was the official animator, but somebody did this cool fan art where it was her and the main character from Metalocalypse. Help me out here. Metalocalypse? What's that Cartoon Network show? Metalocalypse?
No, I can't do it. Metal. Yeah,
Nope.
God, I know what you mean.
Metalopolis?
Yeah. No, Metal Opti. I can't even do it. Metal
Metalopolis?
Optic.
Metal.
Metal Optilic.
Metal.
Jesus.
The cartoon.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it immediately, and then Metal
say
Optic.
Dude, don't come to me. I'm the one that's always asking you guys for help.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? The
Sure,
Cartoon
yeah.
Network cartoon, yeah. But it's like art of them, like they're just like doing hardcore death. And I was like, oh, it's pretty funny and stuff like that. So,
Okay, I'm gonna try to read it while we're doing this. Metal Optic. Metal Optic. It's Apocalypse Metal. Just that's it. We're done. It's Apocalypse Metal.
right, we're done.
Metalocalypse.
Anyway, it's
Metalocalypse.
funny. It's
I did
it. Yeah, there you go. First try.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny, and if you just want to change of pace, there it is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right, Corey.
I started watching the third season of Troll Hunters, which is also on Netflix.
I saw that got advertised too. Yeah.
Kind of
This is the
the
first
kids
season.
show, but it's
First
still,
season
like,
without
it's still
that.
good.
It's the first season without the voice actor, right? Didn't he do the character that
Yeah,
guy that died from Star Trek?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
What's his name?
Tanya Kitsch or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
The guy. Yeah.
So like what they're doing though is they're doing this Troll Hunter series of 3 seasons, and then it goes to Tales of Arcadia, and there's like gonna, I guess, have other supernatural things that come into play in the town. So it'll be interesting, I guess. But it's a fun show. It's something quick and easy, half-hour episodes type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I got to see. I think I talked about it last week. I saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it.
Last
Yeah.
week, so yeah, that's pretty much it then.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up episode 397 of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. That's where we'll start to announce our. We'll do it on Facebook too. Our plans for episode 400. And tune in. Keep tuning into the Gamecast, the Moviecast, and see you next week. Spoiler cast coming up next week. So thanks.